What's happening with it? What's happening with it? Quick surprise live on this Sunday night. What's going on with it? What's up, Sweet Sassy? What's up, Palm Beach Pete? How are you? How is everything with you and with Mom, Palm Beach Pete? What's up, Gooser? Dog Mama, what's happening? I wanted to pick up on this live from last time. On this live, we're going to take a little bit of a little break of what we've been covering. We've been covering a lot of the mannequin and all those assholes grifting off the Nancy Guthrie case, which is very important. And there's definitely a story there to be covered and talked about. And in no way ever am I going to stop doing that. But during my last live, there was some discussion about this topic at hand. And it was a creator reaching out to Stephan Stearns. Now, this is very hurtful to say because if you guys know anything about the Stephan Stearns case, it really sucks that it has to be Maddie once again on YouTube. If you guys can recall, there was an idiot named T-Rev who faked some conversations with one of Stephan Stearns' friends on live streams. He was outed for it. He was caught red-handed for faking these phone calls and this communication on one of his lives. And it's been ugly on the YouTube scene for little Maddie Soto, who's no longer with us. And if you know anything about that case, anything at all, it is super disturbing. Case out of the Orlando area here in Florida. And there's been a lot of discussion about what's happened lately. And it was this creator, and I don't know who this person is allegedly speculating. I don't know who she is from a can of paint, a hole in the wall. I don't know who this person is. It's not me bashing this person or whatever, but she reached out to Stephan Stearns and had this communication and this relationship with him. And I have no idea what the reasoning was. It doesn't make any sense because there's a lot, all of her communication and emails, it's all out there. There's a people have found every single email, but what she said she did it for and what she did it for, two different things, in my opinion. And it's all very weird. It's all very weird. And look, to play devil's advocate, doing a YouTube, you got to do this for views. You got to do this for likes. That's the whole point of it, right? So I understand like the concept here. I understand like the idea, if you will, right? If someone was going to reach out to this guy to help maybe get answers and convict him for what he did to that girl. Now, if you don't know the case, let me refresh your memory. I believe she died around her 13th birthday. Am I right, chat? I think it was her 13th birthday. But this guy had a whole, when the police seized his phone, there was a Google Drive with pictures of disgusting pictures of grape and everything else going back like 5 years. So basically, she was getting abused, speculating around 8 years old, and it could have been before then. That's just what was on the Google Drive. But it's pretty sick, and there are a lot of people who I don't care about who is cool with who and what sides and all this shit. That's super, like, I'm not even with that. That's just dumb. So I don't care who's cool with who and then all that's meaningless. What I want to talk about really is regardless if you think that, she did a good thing or you think this is atrocious, as I do, I'm going to leave all that to the side. I kind of want to take this at an angle where I don't think she understands. This guy's in a Florida prison. I've been in a Florida prison. Okay. This lady gave this guy her address, even though she claims that she didn't. It's later outed that she did. And I have the receipts. She wants it. She's talking about his penis. But more, she gave this guy a photo of her when she was like younger, like a photo of when she was like 18 years old, I guess. And I have some bad news for allegedly speculating. You know, people can say, oh, what she did was righteous and what she did was horrible. That's fine. I'm not even talking about that on this live. I'm going to talk about what I know goes on in there and how she absolutely fucked up and how this is going to backfire. People, spoiler alert, that picture of her that she sent is getting passed around in a dorm of chomos. It's getting passed around. She might be getting rented out. That picture may very well be rented out for a soup, for a ramen soup, maybe a Cheetos. I don't know. It could be getting passed around for free so they can do what they want to do. He's living in a dorm with chomos, some of the worst chomos ever. They're facing life. This was a very stupid thing to do. And that's what I want to emphasize, because you could say, well, she's trying to get the story. And again, playing devil's advocate, I could see that. But then she says, like, she doesn't want to be a witness and this and that. So then what are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? But more than that, this is where I want to talk about. It's not about, I don't care about sides. I don't care about who's cool with who. I don't care about none of that. What I want to talk about is how dumb of an idea this was and how this is epically going to backfire on her. People, this guy brutally raped that little girl for years. For years. He did some horrendous and awful things to that little girl. Now make no mistake. Him and the mother, both pieces of shit. And I don't know why Florida did not bring the hammer down on the mom. To this day, it's a mystery to us all. She's, in my opinion, the mother Jen is just as fucking guilty, letting him sleep in the bed and all this weird ass shit. But this lady crossed the line by doing this. Again, you can have the debate out there in YouTube land of her getting the story or if it's wrong. I'm not going there. I'm going where what everybody's not talking about. I've been in the prison that Stephan Stearns is in. I know what goes on in there. He's supposed to be suffering for society. He's supposed to be incarcerated. He's supposed to be exiled. He's not supposed to have light. He's not supposed to be looking forward to emails and the light of his day and the joy of his day. That's what happens when you communicate with an inmate. You become the girlfriend. He's using you to do the time. No. His time needs to be hard time. It needs to be hard time. You don't make it easy. You don't make easy time for that convicted choma. You don't do that. It's wrong. It's absolutely, and this is what I want to talk about today. Not about getting the story. I don't care who's cool with who, what side, all that's dumb. We're all adults. It's all stupid. What I want to talk about is how this was epically wrong, man. You know, and I can, unfortunately, I can give you some insight on it. You know, I'm not proud of that. But, you know, I made a YouTube video. I think it's got like 8,000, 5,000, 10,000, some thousand views years ago. And it said, and the name of the video, look it up. It says, why women should not write inmates in prison. Because inmates, man, this is prison, man. You can, this is prison. This is not jail. She's trying to like use her experience with being on heroin and all that. And I'm not here to talk. I'm not bashing on all that. You know, she's been through addiction. I don't know who this lady is, but jail and prison are two different things, man. You're talking about preschool and college for criminals. Literally, that's the difference. Ask anybody who's been into both. You're talking about preschool and college. You don't get to have this connection with him because you did some jail time off your addiction. Yeah, you might be able to, talk about the same commissary items or something stupid like this, but it's a total different ball game between the two. When you're in jail, you're getting out in just a little bit of time. The longest they can keep you for is a year in the county in all the states of the USA. And a year in the county is not even a year. It's 1 day less. 1 day less of the year. And then you get game time, depending on which state it is. At the minimum, you'll get 6 days just sitting around reading books. But you can become a trustee. You can make that come to about 11 to 14 days knocked off your sentence per month. So you don't do a year. It comes out to be around 8 or 9 months. And depending what state you're in and what you do to get that much time knocked off, you can do a program inside the jail, so that year becomes 5 months. But my point is, you're about to get out. No matter what you're sentenced in the county jail, you're just about to get out. That's how that goes. When you go to prison, you're not marking days off the calendar. You're marking years. You're marking years off. It's a total different concept, a total different ball game. The professionals are in the prison. It's not, I've made a million prison videos. I don't like talking about it too much anymore. I don't like to glorify it or nothing like that. I'm not proud of that. It's a time in my life I wish I can get all those days back. There's nothing cool about it. There's nothing positive about it. But that's how I started off on the internet. What's up, Kay Justine? What's up, Nicolia? So you guys have heard about this, right? Oh, Hella and Dally rated. I appreciate them coming through and rating. I was watching their live while I was setting this up, and I was in communication with Hella. We were trying to set something up on a collab here soon. Shelby Lynn says, let me get this. Thank you, Shelby. Why is it not showing this? Oh, it is. Wait a minute. Shelby Lynn says, thank you very much for covering this. It's the most despicable things I've heard. So I want to ask the chat real fast before I continue. Do you guys understand, or have you heard of this situation? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm speaking about? Have you heard about it? That's what I'm asking. And again, I don't know this person. I don't have no beef with this person. It's nothing personal. I don't even know I couldn't tell you what she looks like. But I've been, reading these emails and stuff, and I've been trying to listen to people cover this. And what's bothering me is this side thing. Man, who cares about the sides? I don't understand. Well, who gives a fuck? What? I'm not, all that side thing. It's getting weird on YouTube, the team stuff and all that. It's getting to be a bit much. I don't understand it, man. But what you have is a YouTuber. It's a woman YouTuber. So I've got to be honest. I thought this was Brittany J. I don't even know, because this lady, her channel name is Allegedly Speculating. And then she has another channel called Allegedly Something Else. And then you have Allegedly with Brittany J. And then Brittany J has another YouTube channel. And it's not Brittany J. It's not her. But I thought it was. Again, I don't know who this person is. But what this person did is she literally decided to write Stephan Stearns, the convicted chomo from Florida. And I don't know her purpose. What her purpose was to get the story, to get inside, she says, she claims. But all these emails are showing you nothing. It's a bunch of nothing. But this lady is getting herself deep into a hole she doesn't understand, into a world she does not understand. And by doing so, I understand if you're getting the story. So for what it's worth, I'm with her if she gets the story. I'm with her if she can bring answers behind this. But there was nothing like that. There nothing of it. Nothing. And this guy did some disgusting stuff. He's a fucking sicko. She sent this guy a photo. People, if you don't know this, Stephan Stearns will be housed. His security level, he will be housed with people, right? people with the same crimes, right? In Florida, they don't put up with people like him. You know, for what it's worth, people, they beat the shit out of those people daily. I've told this story a few times. Okay, I'll refresh your memory if you don't know. Who I was hanging out with in prison, who I befriended were, you know, some people who, you know, would get down and whatnot, right? You, unfortunately, in prison, that's what you got to do, man. Again, not proud of none of this stuff, right? I'm not proud of this, and this is not who I am. It's not the man that I am, right? But at the same time, because of my addiction, it ended me here, right? I used to sell dope, if you don't know, right? I used to make fast money. I think everybody knows I'm a hardworking person now, right? I've changed my life. But when, you know, going in there, you got to find a way to protect yourself. There's some very weirdos in there. There's very violent people in there. I've been in the prison, and I remember looking on the rec yard at this one dude, and he looked fucking crazy. I remember telling myself, like, this guy should never be released. I told myself this. But who I was hanging out with real fast, we made some coffee one morning. We're about to wait for the rec yard to open. And my buddy, his name was Bush, he gets on the phone and he calls home. And he was from Tampa, around that area. And he calls his family, and his brother or something like that, his brother, maybe it was his cousin, died because there was a sinkhole problem a couple of years ago. Sinkhole. So he hangs the phone up. I don't think nothing of it. He comes back and he starts kicking this dude's locker. He starts kicking the lock. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? So he starts kicking the locker and he starts cussing and yelling at this dude. So I'm like, hey, bro, what are you doing? Chill out, man. Chill out. What are you doing? You know, because if he gets into something, then I gotta get into something, right? So I have to be thinking for everybody. It's how you have to live in prison. So he's kicking this guy's locker, kicking it. And I'm like, what are you doing? What's happening? That's an old man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So the old man sees him doing that and goes to confront him. And my buddy tees off on him. Bah! 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 So I jump in the middle of it to back him. I push him off. I'm like, hey, stop, dude. What are you doing? He pushed me. He's like, get out of my way, Matt. He's like, you know that dude's a fucking chomo. Have you read it? Have you read what he did? And I hadn't, and I didn't know. And then somebody came up and was like, hey, man, let him do what he's doing. So then Bush beat the living dog shit, drugged this dude bad all over the dorm. Now, he did it because his brother died and he was incarcerated. He had like 12 more years to do, and he had to get that off of his chest. But he took it out on a chomo. I didn't know that the old guy had done atrocious things to many different minors. So it was a weird thing where in a matter of like 5 minutes, I went from like being happy to go out with my bros to the yard to go work out, to being concerned and nervous that something was about to go down, to feeling hate. Learning what this old man did, not knowing, and there was a lot of emotions with that. I was like, why didn't you tell me? You know, I was mad all types of different ways, but I wasn't mad that he did what he did. Originally, I was like, hey, he's an old man. But learning why, do what you do. I'm looking this way. Those people have it like that every day in the Florida Department of Corrections, as they should. As they should. They deserve that. And most of the time, the police, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's one good thing I could say about the COs in the Florida DOC is they will let it ride, because they don't care. They don't care. Who would? But they are supposed to have hard time like that. They're supposed to have their days are supposed to be like that. You did crimes on minor children. The fact that this lady I don't think people understand this. By emailing this guy, let me explain this to you real fast. Right now in DOC, Florida, a couple of years ago, they changed things to where you email somebody. You can write them a letter. You can still do that, but you can also email them. You put some credits on. It's like an email, right? And in every dorm, there's a certain amount of tablets. So basically, in every dorm, there's like 5 tablets that are floating around for all the inmates to use. As you can imagine, most of the gang leaders of each gang hold the tablet. Now, they'll share it to everybody, but it's kind of theirs. It's just how it goes. I don't make the rules. But also, you can go to the canteen line and check your email stuff. But every single day, like clockwork, 2 things happen. After every single meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, inmates walk back from the cafeteria to their dorms, and they try to buy a cigarette off somebody. That's the best time to be selling cigarettes, which is one of the things I used to do. And smokers like to smoke after they eat, and that happens every single day. Another thing that happens in prison every single day, like clockwork, is after they lock you down and they do their count and the bell rings, as soon as the bell rings to release count, where people can walk around and talk amongst each other and stuff like that, as soon as the bell rings, people go look at the tablet. Like clockwork, every single day, they want to know if they got an email. They want to know if someone is thinking about them on the outside. They want to know if there's communication on the outside. And the second that you do that, you're making this guy's time easier. He did atrocious things to Maddie Soto. And you've been emailing this dude, and you're not even getting any of the juice. You're getting a bunch of nothing. You're getting a bunch of nothing. And then, for what that's worth, you're saying that you don't want to be involved in being called a witness and this and that. Well, every inmate has an appeal process. Even this fucking sicko, right, will get an appeal process. He'll be back in court arguing how the state, he'll find some loophole. I'm sure there'll be a loophole for him to go back on appeal to knock down his time. So the thing that I don't understand is this lady is emailing him post-conviction after he got convicted. So for one, off the top, what can you get to help little Maddie? He's already been sentenced. And for 2, if you don't want to be implicated in court stuff, well, you automatically will be on the appeal process if it was that. But the dude, the PDF dumped her. The PDF dumped her. And that's wild. We have the receipts. Let me see what you guys think about this. It's disgusting, really. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The evening after her birthday party is when he decided to kill her. Yep. She was 13. Now, I don't know. I'm not stating for the record that I do know that we can tell as far as 8 years old, she was getting abused. And it's disgusting. I thought it was younger too. Because me and Noelle watched this. We watched every video, every live, every clip of this case. And we even discussed going to the trial. She's selling merch too. I haven't got to that yet. I can't. I hate that part. I hate that part. So many assholes sell Summer Wells and merch and all this. I've never understood for the life of me how a creator could sell merch of a missing child. I don't understand, A, how they can sell the merch, B, who the fuck would buy the merch, and see if you know anything about missing children. If you've been to any vigil, if you've been to any missing persons event, any of that, if you've been to any, we've been live at a couple, right? If you've been to any, those things are given to you for free. You know how much Summerwell stuff that I have? Bracelets and key pins and keychains and posters, and it's given to you free. The point of it is, here you're at the visual, you're at the event, you're at this, you're at blase. Here, take this and wear it for awareness. Spread the word. Take this and give this to somebody. You don't. It's not made to be sold. GRIFTMAXXIng. I'm going to put that in the title. GRIFTMAXXIng. It's out of control. But yeah, she's selling the Maddie Soto stuff. It's just unreal, dude. It's unreal. And this lady is lying her ass off. Just so you guys know. And we're going to get into all the receipts. I'll break this shit down. She's lying her fucking ass off. It's just gross, bro. She's not a psychiatrist. No, this backfired on her. People, this absolutely backfired on her. Thank you, Hella. Damn, thank you so much. Y'all give Hella a membership if you got one. I really appreciate that, Hella. She did 5 memberships. It is sick. Who got one? What's up, Miss Denise? What's up, SoCal? What's up? I'm a nurse. GRIFTMAXXIng. Everyone keeps putting this maxing stuff in the words and the titles. This is GRIFTMAXXIng. But this is gross, man. This guy did some atrocious things. And look, for what it's worth, I heard she's got a husband and stuff and all this. I don't think that neither one of them really knows what goes on in there. What goes on in there. Noelle, there was a dude. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Noelle, there was somebody, a mutual friend that we both know. I haven't seen this guy in years, and he's always been in and out of prison, right? No judgment or nothing. But I know him since he was like this big, right? And he's in a hole and stuff. Noelle's like wanting to write him, and I'm like, I can't. Yeah, I can't tell her she can't write them, right? But she wants to send pictures and stuff. And I'm like, no, don't be doing that shit because it's not you don't really get his psyche, man. And this was somebody who's in like he was in the whole, what do you call it? The solitary confinement, right? Which is a whole different demon, right? And this is also somebody who, that's a whole different demon, man. That really should be illegal, but I don't even know if I could say that because you listen. I was in solitary for 3 months, right? And I made a fucking. You ever seen Wilson? You ever seen the movie? What's the movie with Tom Hanks where he made the ball Wilson? I made the toilet paper roll, and I made a Wilson, and I used to talk to Wilson. Like I was losing my marbles. I used to talk to Wilson, and you go fucking nuts in there, right? So I don't know if I can say that, but Castaway. That's exactly what I made a Wilson out of the shit paper, right? But it's different, man. It's I don't even want to make this a funny thing because what this lady did is fucking disturbing. So I want to show you these receipts, but she's lying, and none of this makes any sense, right? And for what it's worth, I hope this lady watches this stream because I don't want this to happen, but I know this is going to happen. You sent a convicted chomo child molester a young picture of yourself, lady, and then through the process, he found out you were a YouTuber, that he dumps you or whatever. Lady, he's going to...
She always told him that she was and promised she would never speak word to anybody.
Right. And he's going to pass your picture around. It's what they do in there. And unfortunately, he's not housed with like people in there for like a monkey on their back, or because they had a monkey on their back, they did like a burglary or something to go get the dope or whatever. It's not that type of party. He's housed with other people with the same or worse charges. They can't put him in the dorms with other people because the second that they do that, the situation I told you in the earlier happens with Bush. And the problem is there's so many of these sickos, there's so many of these PDFs that they can't separate them in full. They can't separate them in full, right? But people who are facing death, have life sentences due to their chomo activity and crimes, they will separate. So the other lighter chomos get into the dorms and stuff like that. And that's when that happens with Bush. But so he's out on left field over here with all the fucking sickos. Your picture, I'm not being funny right now. I'm trying to help you. Your picture is being tossed around, handed from sicko to sicko, man. That's happening. If not sold or rented out, that's happening, man. And you did that to yourself. You're a grown-ass woman. It is disgusting. I'm sorry, but that's what's happening. I've seen it a million times. I've seen guys get Dear John letters, and then who wants to use this hoe? But let me show you her emails. It's pretty weird. I want to lighten up the mood real fast and show you two things off topic that I want to show you just to lighten up the mood, because this is a hard subject. Oh no, what happened? Okay, let me show you this, right? And I got an update on the grifters and all this stuff. Well, I'll say that after this. So I have no idea who the hell this person is. Just random shit that white boy finds on the internet. But what this is real fast is, I thought this was funny. This lady's name is Dr. Jebra Fouché. Couldn't tell you who the hell she is for a hole in the wall, but this is comical. Just really fast, a couple laughs before we dig into these receipts. She says, I don't know what this guy's dance is, but it looks like what my dog does when he's throwing up. So we have to share this. It kind of does look like a dog throwing up. All right, next, real fast, as we next is going to be Randy. Now, Randy is somebody I may end up subscribing to real fast. Just switching subjects to lighten the mood up a little bit, because we're about to go down a deep, disgusting chomo wormhole. So before we do that, let's lighten the room up a little bit. Now, Randy is going to be Randy hates the world. He's like a Chad or a male Karen, if you will. Okay, Randy hates everything. He may be worth subscribing to. Not sure if it's your thing or not. I probably will follow him. But let's hear Randy complain about. I believe this is Burger King and Subway.
Several years ago, I bought a frozen pizza. I think it was a Red Barn pizza. And I followed the baking directions on the back of the box, and I ended up being very sorry that I did. The baking directions said bake it at 400 degrees.
Thank you, Dog Mama.
For 20 to 23 minutes.
What's up, badass?
Well, I followed the directions, but when I came back to get the pizza to eat it, it was burned to a crisp. It was black. Now, I still ate the pizza. It was really inedible, but I still ate the pizza. I had to pay like $5 or $6 for that pizza. And after paying that much, I was not going to throw it in the trash.
All right. So this is Randy. He complains about shit all the time. I'll drop his link later just to brighten up the mood a little bit. But I want to show you some of this disgusting shit that we've been talking about. So I don't even know which one to start with first. I have clips. We have receipts. Give me a second. Let's go here real fast. Can you guys see this? So I'm gonna play some clips. My comments are coming in late for some reason, and now I gotta see you laughing at the Randy and the dog puke. But I thought you guys were so mad at this lady that you didn't give a fuck about that, so I kind of ended it fast. Randy has a link. Yeah, I'll give you Randy's link. He's comical. He complains about everything. It's a good laugh though. What's up, Diana? What's up, Jen? Miss Love Louie. I got Shelby, Forever Book Addict, Cubby, Elise, BJ. I got Miss Denise. What's up, Hope? Quick shout outs real fast. Got Badass. Who's your daddy? What's happening? Thank you for joining the channel and calling in last live. I appreciate you. And really fast before we get into these receipts, I do want to continue what Who's Your Daddy. When Who's Your Daddy called in, we went down a very weird wormhole with this lady Deanna, Dirty D, and all that. Jinx came on. I'm trying to put together a timeline and stuff and a future link about a future live about that. So if you know any information about that, please contact me. I do want to cover this. The grifters are not over. I just wanted to cover this because this is very disturbing. But what we have here on the screen is, hey, look. It says, this is emails in between from her to him. I would be so grateful for an image when you feel comfortable enough to send me one. Don't be too hard on yourself, though. It doesn't have to be perfect. When you have one, you want to send it, I can give you my address. I had to put all that stuff on the form to write you, so I thought you might have it. Either way, if someone FOIA'd these emails and was able to obtain them somehow, they would probably be there for no big deal. She is always talking about if somebody FOIA's the emails. But in these clips I'm going to play here momentarily, she talks about she would never give this guy an email. She knows he's a chomo, this and that. The problem is he is in Florida Department of Corrections, and when you do set up a JPay to email somebody, you do have to give your information like this. So he does have her information. He not only has a picture of her around 18 years old, he has her home address. No matter what she wants to spin it, that's the cold hard facts. Here's some more. Can you guys see this? Yes, you can. Saturday. I wanted to answer your questions first before telling you more about myself. Why do I want to know who you are? The answer will be a lot of reasons. The main reason there is always someone behind the headlines. Nobody ever set out in life and said, I wanted to be labeled as X. When I grow up, I know how that feels firsthand as I went down a bad road myself. Sometimes we find ourselves in places and we are like, wait, how do I get here? Or how the F did this happen? There is a person behind all the mistakes that is usually kind of relatable. I want to understand. Give me a moment. Oh, that's why. God damn it. Okay, what am I on here? This one. So I'm going backwards in my receipts. Let me actually start from the top because I'm confusing myself. All right, let me do this real fast. Let me just read this real quick because there's a lot of clips here and stuff. This is really weird. So what's weird to me is I've heard all these clips and I've been hearing people review this and stuff, but this lady, man, this is what bothers me. She's making this guy's time way easier, right? And I want to play these clips and stuff and let you guys hear this, right? So here, I'm gonna play them from the top. So just listen and chat. If people don't know about the situation, please let them know. So let me take it from the top. This is gonna be, I'm gonna be playing a couple clips here from, I think it's gonna be Hartley. I'll drop a link in chat. Make sure you guys can hear this. Okay, let me know. Give me a 1 in chat if the volume's good on this.
At 7:15 p.m. I said, hello again, a second birthday behind bars. That is the definition of worst birthday ever, or second worst. I suppose the first one was the worst. I think learning to draw will help you in the future. You can make pictures to sell or send to family, friends, and pen pals on special occasions. So with that, right, like, I don't know. I think it would be weird to get a picture and like put it online on Reddit or something. Like, I don't know. That was weird to me. I would never give him my actual address, just by the way. But like, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. Like, could you imagine like getting a picture that Marilyn Manson had drawn? Not Marilyn Manson.
All right. So there's a lot of things in this clip that I need y'all to pay attention to. She says she would never give him the address. And we just showed a later receipt. It's a good thing I did go backwards where she did give him the address, but that's her decision. She's a grown ass woman, right? The bigger issue is what she's saying. Okay, listen.
Charles Manson. I don't know if I'm weird. I'm sure I'm weird in saying that, but like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Or like something BTK had drawn. It'd probably be published. I don't know, man. It's weird. He is very much like me, Stephan Stearns. Oh my goodness, that's awesome, Dandy. You stick with that club. Me. Yeah, want to talk about me, want to talk about Okay. He says, I can imagine Mango would be a lot better than the standard graphic. Oh, I apologize. I can imagine Mango would be a lot better than the standard graphic novel. Do you think your family has sent them and they may be in your property? I think Jaws may have been one of the first, if not the first, iconic movie as far as thrillers go for that time period. I really do. I think like Jaws was very iconic for the time period. And I can't think of one before that would have been iconic as that. Am I wrong in that assumption? I suppose when you read it, that tune plays in your head at the correct parts. I miss some of the iconic snacks and things from our childhood. So again, it's just small talk trying to keep him talking to me. Those Planters cookies sound right up my alley. I did not know that you could decorate CDs in the players while they were playing. If I had known about that hack, I surely would have done it. I used to walk around town with my CD player in my back pocket of my Junko jeans, though. I really did, just in case.
All right, so she's talking about sending this guy shit to draw. Not only shit to draw, but he's encouraging him to draw stuff for a hustle to trade. Earlier, I was telling you one of my hustles inside of prison, because there's a million ways to make money in prison. That's just a fact, right? I used to sell cigarettes, right? And made a lot of money doing that, right? She's encouraging this guy to draw stuff so he can make money in prison. So he can draw stuff so he can sell it, barter it, whatever. Whenever you have more money inside of prison, your time goes better. She's encouraging him she's encouraging him and willing to send him shit to draw so he can make money inside there. Man, if you followed this case at all, you know, through communication with his mom and dad, right? I believe it was root beer candy or whatever the fuck he was crying about. He was crying about he didn't have enough money, and could his mom send him some more money and this and that, some more books. There was a lack of money. When you have a lack of money anywhere in life, but yes, even in prison, your time is harder. It's easier when you have money inside of prison, jail. It's easier. Ask anyone who's ever been. She's encouraging this guy. She's making this dude's time easier. He's a chomo that did horrendous things to a little girl who's no longer on this earth due to what he did to her. And she's just the simple fact with the emails, man, is making his time. It is brightening his day. Every time the bell rings and count is over, this dude is running to a tablet to see if she has emailed him. He's got something to live for. He's got something to strive for. It's brightened his day.
I'll be back.
Yep. But on this one, how you gonna tell this convicted chomo to sell stuff to make his time eat? Man, this lady, dude, this is on top of her picture being passed around. But it even gets weirder, people. Let me continue with this. And this is all that I've seen, right? It even gets weirder. I'm just taking some clips here. This is Hartley again. I will drop her link. Matter of fact, let me do it now while I got a second. I don't want to forget. Let me go to the comments real fast. I'm going to tell you guys his comments. Ready? It's just disturbing. It's just weird, man. You know, at first I was like, she's getting the story, but what story? There was nothing there. What story?
Child, in the mindset of a young child, and you find that it's dead. It's like, I killed it. Like, I don't know. It did.
This is so much about like what are we getting out of this? Are we getting like some astute criminal mind analysis out of this? Or are we getting like, okay,
Yes,
every
love.
time she reads a line from him, she identifies with him. She feels his pain in one way, shape, or form. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm hearing? With which one, Clue? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like,
It did affect me. It upset me. It was stressful to find it dead, because I'm like, oh my God, I killed it. I'm a horrible person. My pet died and it wasn't even real. Anyway, I used to be gothic, but now they call it emo. So yeah, I used to be like mainstream goth, not like Cradle of Filth goth, like authentic goth, I guess. I used to wear.
so we're like learning about her via him. We're learning about this girl through the filter of fucking Stephan Stern. Right. What the fuck, man?
It's all very strange, y'all. So Misdemeanor says, Matt, when I was young, my boyfriend was sent to prison. He asked me to write him erotic letters about our private life. I later found out he was selling them to other inmates. I totally believe that. Noelle got mad at me because I told her, don't be sending pictures to that dude. I knew the dude. Look, prison is just different. People do weird stuff. You know what these dudes were doing in prison? They were writing, and this is why I made that video years ago, why women should never write men in prison. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about like if you got a family member in there that you personally know, obviously, or maybe a friend of yours. It's not what I'm talking about. You know, if you have somebody like that, and yeah, of course, keep a line of communication, you know, support them during their time and all that. But what I'm talking about is Pino. Yeah, I gotcha. When you're done with the live, can you? Yeah. Okay, so I just had Pino and the YouTube streets text me and ask for the emails. There's a link. So Pino, get with Noelle.
What does he want? I'll text
He
him
wants a
now.
link to all the emails. So Pino, I'm gonna give what's up. So shout out to Pino and shout out to the YouTube Streets podcast. I'm gonna send you boys a link to every single email.
I'm gonna send it to you now.
So the thing is, man, Damn, I forgot what the fuck I was just saying. It's okay though, because other people are going to cover this, and that's what's important, because Pino also has done time in the Florida Department of Corrections. He knows how fucked up this is. But what I was talking about is women writing people in prison that they don't know. Look, when I was in prison, there was these dudes that they were writing these gay guys in like the UK or some shit. There was some website that they were writing these gay guys, and so these guys that were straight inside the prison were writing these gay guys, and they were trying to use them for money or trying to play them for money. And I was like, hey man, I'm like, for one, that's going to bite you in the ass. I'm like, for two, what are you writing these dudes about? Like, how can me, not a gay man, write another gay man? Like, if they're paying you and willing to send you money, then there's got to be some erotica behind that. And these dudes were like, nah. Sure enough, old white boy's intuition was right, because somebody ended up exposing these dudes, went through, fell out with them, and went through their locker and ended up reading the letters. And these dudes are talking about getting porked in their butthole, butt sex, all types of weirdo shit. But they sure were playing that role to let these guys in the UK hear what they wanted to hear to get this money. And then, look here, one of the guys in the UK ended up falling in love basically with one of these guys and wanted to come to visitation. Man, how would that have looked when the dude's sitting there with his wife and his kids, and here comes Jerome from the UK talking about, where's that hard dick that we were writing each other about? I want to ride that donkey. You don't know what the hell Jerome's going to say. But, it was all fun and games when you were getting this money. So listen, I completely understand that comment. And this is what this lady doesn't understand. She's dealing with professional criminals. Man, these people are the best manipulators. These people, man, you don't even understand it. It doesn't make no sense. When you're done. Yeah, absolutely. I got you guys. Absolutely. Shout out to the YouTube streets and shout out to Pino. Yeah, I got you guys. It's actually on its way right now via Wifey. I hope you guys cover this. Give me a shout out. Blast this bitch, because she actually wrote Stephen Stearns. Listen to both you guys, to the YouTube streets and to the Pino. She sent this dude a fucking photo of herself when she was 18 years old, bro. Because she was trying to play like she knew the dude like young girls and stuff. She sent her a picture of when she, and the chick has a husband. This is crazy. So y'all be on the lookout for those channels covering this. Literally just texted me as I'm doing this. What's up, B Tim? Didn't see him in here. Yeah, man. Oh, B Tim sent a super chat. Now I see it. Some YouTubers wanted to give this lady a pass and grace. I give no grace to someone pen paling, trying to be a girlfriend to a pedo murderer. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that myself, B Tim, and I agree with you. I don't think there's any passes to give. And I do understand the lady, apologized or whatever, but the problem that I'm having with this whole situation is what did she learn? Now, if you go through these emails and you read this stuff, it's weird. It's just like dumb shit. The world doesn't want to know that Stephan Stearns. You know how pissed I was learning about this story, and then learning that Stephan Stearns rescued a squirrel. Now you guys know we got timber. Noelle always shows you guys timber. This was gross, man. But it's all weird generic stuff like this. And then what's very disturbing is to learn that allegedly she's talking about she wanted a shot of the guy's of Stephan Stearns' penis. Come on, y'all. If you know this case, man, that's triggering. That's triggering, man. That's triggering if you know this case. If you know about that Google Drive. So I'm going to play a clip of Granny talking about that. But another thing that was very weird to me is so if you look at the thumbnail to this live, there's a Stephan Stearns photo. It's been a while since I talked about this chomo, but I'm looking through the Google photos of him, and you can do this for yourself. And I think I have the clip. Yeah, I do. We're going to play that next. She's talking about there was a time where he walks into court and he was smiling. Well, first off, and when he walks into court and he was smiling, and how she thought that he was smiling at her. That's a very weird thing to say. First off, when Googling the thumbnail for this live, I can't find a video, a picture of him smiling. There is none. There is none. If you look at the thumbnail very closely, you'll see that I had to edit it because there was a person of someone else's head behind it. Fucking Perplexity fucked that one up. But so I had to search, and there is no photos of him smiling. But the fact that you think the dude's talking about you, this is weird. As someone who's been in the courtroom when there's cameras there, when you walk into that courtroom, you're not thinking about, you don't think about, oh, let me say something to my girlfriend or my mom. No, you're like, oh shit, how do I get off the local news? What can I do to shield myself right now from that camera? Because it's not your proudest moment, right? It's weird. And then like the psychology approach to this is even more weird. On the internet, people, everybody is something, right? And it's crazy. When Sebastian Rogers' case came on YouTube, everybody had an autistic son. Everybody had an autistic son. Everybody had an autistic grandson. And I'm sure a lot of people do, don't get me wrong. But, you see this wave of people with autistic people, right? When there's something medical talked about, everybody's a fucking nurse, right? Now there's a psychology point of this. This lady can't be any of the sort or taking this element of it because she's not understanding the psyche that she's helping the psyche of this convicted chomo. She's helping him do time. And if that couldn't been your that could not have been your direction here, Let me play this clip. It's wild, people. I think this is what it is. Let me see. Oh, okay, here it is right here. Yeah, right here. Again, this is coming at you to Hartley. Hartley has. So if I should have said this in the beginning, but yes, this is all these clips I'm playing is actually her reading the emails and trying to explain this stuff. This one was very weird for me.
Sport appearance. He talked about having shaved his head and how short it was. And you can see when he walks in the room,
yes,
in the courtroom, he does look at the camera and kind of smiles. So I think that he did that because he was trying to kind of look at me, which was really freaking weird. Very freaking weird.
All right, did you guys just hear that? Do I have to restart it? Why is autism used as an excuse for everything now these days? I don't know. I just remember the amount of people in the chats when the Sebastian Rogers case was going. I was just trying to prove a point as far as like how when on the internet, everybody, goes to one thing at some point, I'm sure there's a lot of people who do have autistic children and grandchildren in their family though. She is sick. Okay. So on this clip, I have no idea how she's talking about when the dude walks into court, he thinks that it's her. This is weird on so many levels. Like, I mean, how close did they get? How close did they get? For one, right?
All right. So as we read in the emails, he knows that I'm going to be watching for him during this court appearance. He talked about having shaved his head and how short it was. And you can see when he walks in the courtroom, he does look at the camera and kind of smiles. So I think that he did that because he was trying to kind of look at me, which was really freaking weird. Very freaking weird. Because at this point, I knew I was talking to him. Nobody else did. And to see him, and I think I was live at the time, walk across and do that was really freaking weird. Really weird, really creepy, really scary. It made me very nervous. And I started to question, had I shared too much information with him? All right. So as we read in the email.
That's weird, people, on so many levels. Like, what did she say? And you know what else? You know what else? Like, again, this lady does not know what she's doing. I remember briefly talking about on a live. It wasn't the subject of a live, but I remember no matter who it is, what serial killer it is, what convicted chomo it is, what monster goes to prison, there's always a small, weird community of thirsty women who will try to look. Charles Manson got married in prison, right? Chris Watts just got married inside of prison. Matter of fact, Jay for Justice posted a picture of the woman on her community post. There's always a very small group of these super thirsty women who will go after these weirdos. But I specifically remember outing. There was a group of weirdos, and they even had a Facebook group, and they were proud to be in communication with Stephan Stearns. The fact that she thinks she's the only weirdo emailing him is come on. We all know that's bullshit. There's a whole bunch of weirdos that do this to these monsters. I remember sharing the link. I think it was Newsbreak. But why would you think that he's thinking about you? That's fucking weird. It's weird. Restart it, please. Okay, let me do it again. I'll play it again. Here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me try like this. So, share. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go.
Smiles. So I think that he did that because, all right, so as we read in the emails, he knows that I'm going to be watching for him during this court appearance. He talked about having shaved his head and how short it was. And you can see when he walks in the courtroom, he does look at the camera and kind of smiles. So I think that he did that because he was trying to kind of look at me, which was really freaking weird. Very freaking weird. Because at this point, I knew I was talking to him. Nobody else did. And to see him, and I think I was live at the time, walk across and do that was really freaking weird. Really weird, really creepy, really scary. It made me very nervous. And I started to question, had I shared too much information with him?
I mean, lady, you sent the dude a photo of you. I mean, so I have the photo. You guys want to see the photo? Actually, I don't even, I'm going to savor that. I'm not even going to show that photo she sent because people, that's getting passed around right now. I'm sure YouTube Streets, I'm sure Pino will cover this. And, you know, some other people who've been in the Florida Department of Corrections can give you their insight on it. That lady does not understand, man, her pictures being, this was all for YouTube, man. This is a massive backfire. But what's disgusting, man, is this lady here. Let's look at some of these actual emails. This lady is making this guy's time easier, people. And this bothers me because I don't know if people know about this case or not. He did some atrocious thing to this little girl, people. Some atrocious things. Here we go. I'm a YouTuber. Am I a YouTuber or an online personality doing this for a channel or something, or just curious? I'm honestly just curious. I will inform you in case you do not realize. I have to use my legal name and address in order to purchase credits for us to communicate. My information has to match my card. Okay, so what is she saying right there? If you can write an email, you can write an inmate, but when you do this email thing, what you're doing is you're using JPay. And just like anything else, JPay is going to want credit card information. You put the information in, but she cannot be allegedly speculating on her credit card. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Is the photo a camel? What? No. What? Exactly. Oh, you're talking about, yeah, the clip. I don't know. That clip was Hartley. Hartley uses camels and animals in her clips. I don't know. I appreciate that we have those clips. Why does that creator use that stuff in her videos? I don't know. It's not I can't answer that question. She lied about the emails, said that a friend was writing them. Yeah, she absolutely lied a million times about the emails. 100%. Good comment. Queen Bee's calling her out and people covering up this gross pedo-loving reject. It's just sick. And I'm taking the side of how she made this guy's time easier. And there's so many things I can talk about on the inside that she doesn't even realize it's going to happen to her. And she thinks that she thinks because I guess this lady or this channel was addicted to heroin or something like that. She had some sort of drug addiction in the past, is in recovery now, and kind of using that like, okay, I know I've been in jail before, so I can relate to you, Mr. Stearns. No, ma'am. No, these are two different things. Jail and prison are two different things. This guy's running circles around you. And if you honestly think he's dumb enough, you can just watch. If you know the case and you watch the police interrogations, this guy's not dumb. He asked for a lawyer very quick. As soon as some questions started going south between the sheriff and him, he asked for a lawyer real quick. But you always gonna have a YouTuber that think that they can get more, that they got better skills than these, detectives that have been doing this for years. He's not stupid. He's not gonna tell you, and I don't know what he could, because she's writing the fucking chomo after he's been convicted. So there's nothing to get. What are you going to get? What insight could you get here that could help Matty Soto? He's already been convicted and sent to life. There's nothing he can tell you that wasn't brought up in court. It doesn't. So the whole thing does not make any sense to me. This is the big problem. But she doesn't realize what's happening to her. That's what I'm trying to tell you people. Her picture is getting passed around right now in a dorm where there's a bunch of vicious men who have done crimes against children. It's being used, rented out. One of them right now is in a back stall with her picture and some tissue, sitting on a toilet. People, I have to use my legal name and address in order to purchase credits. For us to communicate, my information has to match my card. So it would be stupid for me to publish these letters or tell anyone I'm talking to you, because I would potentially be doxing myself, not to mention the harsh reactions I would probably receive. So don't worry, I'm not telling anyone about this, and hopefully it'll stay under the radar. And I respect you and your lawyers enough to not discuss the case. Besides, I don't have money for gas, hotels, and the time it takes to drive to Florida to go to court if I was to be called in. So I'm not doing anything stupid. I hope you do not berate yourself for replying. I have not been in your exact situation, and I know you have been very careful. I hope I explained enough for you to understand that it would be smart enough to release these emails or tell anyone about them. Oh, there's a lot of lies here. Okay, first off, I'm not going to play all these clips of her explaining why she did this, but she did say that she was, quote, playing into his ego, end quote, by saying that she's going to go visit him, this and that. You're telling people this, but you're writing him that you don't have gas to do this. Which one is it? Which one is it? And then there's just, there's so much here. She's always saying people are going to FOIA this. But What's this about? And I respect you and your lawyers enough to not discuss the case. Well, then what are we doing here, people? Then what are we doing here? End of story. What are we doing here? This is weird, people. It's all lies. She wrote this guy. Here, we have some more. Y'all want to see them? I'm going to tell you guys where to go to get a link of every single email that she wrote here shortly. I don't have time to go through them all. Maybe I should. The judge, here we go. I'm just going to read these guys. I don't know what they say. The judge sounds like he's ready to get the trial over with. So if I had to guess, I would think that you're going to have to go to trial in May for the CSAM anyway. This case I got out of New Mexico was on Victoria Martins. She was dismembered. It's a crazy case. The mother was not all there and falsely confessed to a bunch of things. And I'm kind of looking into false confessions. Lady, you're trying to help a chomo. You're trying to help a chomo beat his case. Stop. Stop it. Stop. What else is this for? You're sending him case law? What the fuck? This woman confesses to a litany of horrible things, and then she gets 12 years, and everybody's like, wait a minute. And how did she only get 12 years? It made me want to understand, so I submitted the Freedom of Information Act request on it. Your accent sounds interesting, and I had no idea your mom was from North Carolina. I have an almost deep application accent. In other words, I'm a country as AF. I wish I grew up in Georgia or had been there. I want to visit the old plantation houses, blah, 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 blah. I want to visit Florida sometime. For fuck's sakes, no. I heard there was white sand on the beaches. No, we have shitty beaches here. Don't come. Here's the picture. So this person sends a young picture of herself. Why is the banner up still? That's weird. A young picture of herself. I have no idea how old this lady is. Not going to dox her. Don't care. I would, if I had to guess, she's probably like, mid-30s, maybe older. I have no clue what the truth is to that. The thing is, she went through her photo album, people, and picked out one where she's 18. Why? Well, you tell me why. Come on. She did this because she wanted to seem young. She wanted to get his attention. She wanted the story, obviously. But what story? The point of this is, what story? What did she do? There's nothing on these emails. I've already showed you in direct communication to him. Out of respect for you and your lawyers, I'm not going to talk about the case. So what are we doing here? Well, there is no story. If that, there's playing devil's advocate about this whole thing, people, it's very simple. If she was going to go in here and befriend this guy, which is a dangerous mission, something to be very careful doing. If you did that to get the inner workings of this sicko in some sort of a fashion to bring justice or get justice for Maddie to help her case, to shoot it over to prosecutors, something of like that, then I'm with her. But people, it never was that. This was just like, in my opinion, a YouTube thing. If you read these emails, it's all it clearly shows. Am I wrong here? What's up, Angelina? We haven't even talked about the merch yet. I don't have pictures of the merch. We'll cover the merch real fast. She wanted to get close to him so she could play him for details on what he did to Maddie in her final moments. She wanted to know the details of that night. That's what she said. This is absolutely fake news.
Come on. You are fake news. Okay, you fake news.
Not you, the Alicia Treat. Not you. But what she's saying is fake news. I just showed the email in correspondence to Stephan Stearns himself. In respect for you and your lawyers, I will not ask you about the case. And almost in all these emails, it's like she knows that she feels like someone's gonna be FOIA in this. Or maybe she thought that like somebody like Plunder, or who knows, right? The FOIA people that were gonna get his communications would maybe out this, right? I don't know. That's what it seems like. Very, very weird. It's very strange. This is all very strange. Let's keep reading some of these emails. But yeah, don't get lied to, y'all. Don't get lied to. Oh, she just wanted to get the inner details of what happened to the case. I just showed you I just showed you her in communication. That's lies. That's amazing. You have a pillow finally, even flat. It's better than nothing. Definitely folded up like an old high school letter, and that should help. Did I see you both? I did see you both days in court. And yes, I think he has 60 days to make a decision on the motions. Trial's been moved up to July. You might know that. The feed was cut at the end. So I didn't see that until it was on the court website. Someone tripped over the drop cord, I suppose. Yes, that case is wild, but what you said is exactly what nobody gets. Nobody knows what really happened except for the people that were there. The public loves to make opinions that, to be fair, do change, but are made without facts. I have always tried to keep an open mind and look at things from all angles. Maybe it's because I'm a Libra. I agree with what you said about the clips on the internet. You can make something seem one way, but how it's presented and a whole entire crowd of people will grab the torches and pitchforks and start storming the castle. That's why I started requesting FOIAs. I want the information I can get to make my own informed decision. It's just, so she's talking to him about the day in court. If you let this lady explain it, she's going to tell you, she's going to tell you she did it for this and that. Apparently, now here's going to be the weird receipts that I wish I could never have to play. Apparently, she was on panel. I don't know if somebody was calling her out, or I have no idea. But apparently somebody said, or it has been said, I'll say, 2 hours and 57 minutes. Apparently somebody said that she did say that this had nothing to do with Maddie, which is just very weird and almost believable, because we know that in her own correspondence, you can't tell people that, oh, I was just trying to, play into his ego and this and that. If you say you're not going to ask him about the case, well, that's why he tried. That's why, you can't double back around that and then start asking questions about the case. And if you look into the emails, there was never nothing about the case. When was she going to get around to asking questions about the case? So this is all lies, in my opinion, people. And on YouTube, I just want to say this. I don't, there's people are covering this. And I guess, certain people are friends with certain people. Who gives a shit about any of that? And again, if you followed this case and you've been around these streets a while, we remember T-Rev did some of the same dumb shit to Maddie Soda. This is gross, bro. Yes, I was talking about that East Coast Diane. She also stated in her video that her husband knew she was emailing back. That's super weird. That's super weird. her husband, and I don't know her husband from a hole in the wall, but dude, if you happen to watch this, man, I hate this for you, dude. They're gonna be passing around your wife's photo, dude. You have no idea what kind of sickos are in that prison. You should have never let her do that, man. What were you thinking, dude? What were you thinking? Again, going back to Noelle wanting to write. What's up, Mrs. Sherry? RD, Angelina, wanting to write somebody we both knew. I can't stop her from doing that. Shit, I can't even stop her from sending a photo, but I can't have a conversation with her about it. I said, Noelle, I don't know if it's a good idea. I don't know if his psyche's in the right mind. I don't want nobody whacking off to my wife. But here it gets very weird, people. It gets very, very weird here. Have a listen.
Buying every excuse this woman is given. I want to remind you all that this woman did not come out and tell her audience that, hey, if she wrote to find out answers for Maddie, that I'm going to send to them. She didn't do that because that was not her concern. Her concern was to play footsies with a pedo, in my opinion. The way she got giddy, thinking that Stern smiled at her as he walked into the courtroom.
Agreed.
Do you all know that she discussed what his penis was like that she saw because of the horrific crime he committed? She had a conversation with him about seeing his penis.
Now, come on, people. Come on, people. This is where this is a muddle. Again. Come on, y'all. I'm muted. What the hell happened? How long was it muted? This saw it. I don't know why my mic muted. Weird. Did you hear what Granny said about the penis? Did you hear that? All right. I see the muted. I get it. I don't know what happened. My mic muted itself. Fucking weird. Okay, let me play that again. I'll play that again. Not a problem. Give me a second. Okay. All right. All right, give me 1 second. Why is this taking so long over here? Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Now I'm ready. All right, trigger warning, man. Trigger warning on this one. Sorry about it muting me. Here we go. We're going again. Massive trigger warning coming up. One, if you can hear it in the chat. One.
As
Okay, look, I don't know what the hell's happening here. I'm just gonna play it on my phone. Watch this. I don't know why. So this is Granny's watching. She was talking about this, right? And I just want to play you this part here. I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time. I won't even share, but it's all good. Look at this part.
So happy to see all of you here on this lovely Sunday morning. Good morning, good morning. Wish list. They have a need list. Be a responsible parent and get what you...
Oh, this is important, this part, y'all. Give me a second real fast. What the fuck?
Balance it. She puts herself first. I don't understand that. Who less than a year ago was playing fussies with a pedo that murdered a 13-year-old girl because that's in her past. But we can go back to Grady's 4 or 5 years ago. I'll tell you what.
Here we go.
I sincerely and deeply appreciate when you guys say how I've handled
Right.
this, because I have learned to log off instead of going crazy. There are times I get on here and I'm really angry and I'm screaming, and I can go from screaming to crying because I cry when I'm angry. But I would love any out and tell her audience that, hey,
Right here.
if she wrote turn to find out answers for Maddie, she would have came clean. If it was me and I wrote out to, let's say, Chris Watts, and I said, I just want to get answers to what happened that night, the minute I got a response, I would have told you all. Matter of fact, we probably would have sat here together writing up what I was going to send to them. She didn't do that because that was not her concern. Her concern was to play fussies with a pedo, in my opinion. The way she got giddy, thinking that Stern smiled at her as
Agreed.
he walked into the courtroom.
Agreed.
Do you all know that she discussed what his penis was like that she saw because of the horrific crime he committed? She had a conversation with him about...
Come on, guys. Come on now. What are we doing here? That's weird. That's weird, y'all. She's discussing what Stern's his cock. Come on, y'all. If you know the case, man, it's beyond disgusting. Now, look, if you know the case, unfortunately, there's a Google Drive, and in court records, that guy had pictures of his stuff in little Maddie, in her mouth, in her butt, in all different weird sexual positions. This is all on the Google Drive. There's nothing to talk about there. What are we doing here? What else is there even to show at this point? It's and then you're selling her merch. Come on, man. What a slap in the face. What a slap in the face. This is weird, people. It's absolutely lowest of low. Sure, babe. Sure. So look, I'm gonna share this with you guys. She's on Turtle Island. I mean, I don't fuck Turtle Island. Turtle Island is Turtle Island. You're worried about her being on Turtle Island? The next room in Turtle Island, there's a predator in that house. Ice, Dolly's brother, convicted Chomo. Seriously, and he's trying to move in PJ's kids right now. They're trying to move her in there. right? We've rang the bell on that many times. People don't like it because they like Dolly. Well, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Turtle Island. What is Turtle Island? That's a good question. You ever Google it? The moron. You should Google Turtle Island, and you'll get some very interesting Google results. It's actually comical. I'm not going to even try to explain that one because there's too many. I'm not going to disrespect people's religions and stuff like that. But Google it. Yeah, hit the like. But tell him, Wayne. Tell him, badass. Someone in chat said she's on Turtle Island. That's why. No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't fuck with that dude Dolly at all. I have a lot of history with him. We used to roast him. I was full in exposing him, and then all this stuff happened with the mannequin and all that. I was talking to Wayne, my moderator badass, a couple lives ago for a live. It's funny because Wayne was really one of the first to, do that expose and on the mannequin and all. Then Wayne, and it was Jeff Bezos, that the account on X. They had their own awareness campaign going. But yeah, anyway, and we're still going to always talk about that stuff, but this is just very weird, y'all. I don't really know what to say about this, but there's a lot of chatter on YouTube as of late, and people, here, I'll just say it, and I don't get this part. There have been some people covering this and some people that are not covering this, and I guess because a lot of this has to do with like who's friends with who and all this type of stuff. All that shit's irrelevant, man. All that shit's really irrelevant. I don't even know who the fuck is cool with this person and who's not. I genuinely don't even know. But I do know that certain people are talking about this, and then certain people are not, or whatever, or don't want to, or whatever it is. But fuck all that, fuck all that. It needs to be talked about. This is weird. It's just strange. It's strange. And to play devil's advocate, to give this lady the benefit of the doubt. Look, when you do YouTube, you got to create. Being the creator makes you have to create, right? And I give her. Look, if she would have, like I said, man, if she would have went in here and did this and got some insight, or at least, even if she didn't get any insight, even if she just tried, right? I give her credit for that. But this is much more. This is after the conviction. The dude had already been sentenced to Florida prison forever, right? It's after the fact. It's after the fact, right? So what are you? I mean, okay. I'll even go a little bit further. Okay. So after the fact, you still want to do it. You still want to, you want to be the one to explain to everybody the reason. Okay. I don't ever think he would tell you that, but okay, I'm still with you. But we don't get any reasoning. We don't get any actions. We don't get any whys. Why did this happen? Why did this? You didn't even go into at least talk about like Jen. We didn't even get that. It's all a bunch of, Jinko Jeems and Marilyn Manson and fucking squirrels and all this dumb shit. And, it's nothing. It's a bunch of nothing. And what it is, people have discussed, and I'm in agreement with it, but when you start communicating and making a bond with somebody, hey, man, maybe you start to feel some type of way about them. Maybe you begin a relationship, if you will. I don't know. But this had nothing to do for Maddie at all. Zero. And this backfired, people. This lady's photo right now is being passed around in a Florida Department of Correction facility, right? She might be getting rented out. It might be passed around, but bet your ass, because I believe I have it. There's an email here. I'll leave you with this, I guess. There's an email here where Stearns breaks up with her, I guess, if you will, right? It's the breakup email where he was aware that she was a YouTuber. And I think I have it. But Noelle has dropped in chat. There's a creator who put together all of the emails. There's a link that you can hit to watch to look at every single email. Where is this? Babe! Noelle! She in chat? Where's the breakup line? Noelle! Yelling for wifey. Lock up Jen. Lock Jen up. Yeah, she should be locked up. She was in the chat dropping links. Okay, so I will Noelle, yeah, no, she has so there is a link around. So somebody took the time to put a Google Drive link together, and it has every single one of all the communication and all of the emails sent in between them both. Babe. Noelle. Who is that? Somebody robbed my house right now. Who is it?
It's in your fucking ex, goddammit!
Which one?
I just sent it. I wasn't home. Stop yelling.
The breakup one is?
Yes.
Okay.
For fuck's sake.
Send it again. Let me stop pissing her off. All right. So here it is. Whoops. What's this? Okay. Here. I think it is. Is this it right here? So here's here it is. Here goes the breakup message, right? Weird. This is a weird thing, right? But here goes okay, back to the people who've been following this case. If you follow this case, you would know that Stephan Stern's parents the mom and the father are very protective, and they used to scan the internet and stuff like that. And they did go on, I think it was Hidden True Crimes channel, and give an interview. But needless to say, here's what this says, right? I got it, my love. I got it. Thank you.
No shit.
Don't yell at me.
Fuck you. Not me.
It said, I just got a long message from my family saying that you already dropped stuff on YouTube through others. And that sum of what does it say? And others. And that sum of what was said on those channels was apparently very insulting to my family. I don't personally know what I was shared by you and what was said by this YouTuber you supposedly shared things with, but it was enough to drive my parents into big mad. They have made it clear that if I continue to contact with you, I will lose contact with them. My loyalties need to be for my family. I did enjoy talking to you, and I am sorry that it has come to this. But I think, for at least hope, you can understand my situation. I will be disconnecting us after I send this message. I hope your camping trip goes well. Take care and goodbye. So that would be him saying he knows what's happening, this and that. And what's crazy is the lady does publicly say that she feels sorry for this guy's parents. I got to disagree on that. That's her opinion, though. It is what it is. I think that Jen should be arrested. And if you pay attention to this case, the mom is super weird, but maybe that's just my bias. Maybe maybe this is the way I'm thinking like that. But apparently, people have grouped up in front of their houses or contacted them. They had to move. Hey, it is what it is, man. It is. Who gives a fuck? You had to move. Little Maddie Soto can't move. She's gone. Your piece of shit molesting son did that to her. So I have no sympathy for the parents. And because and for what it's worth, they went on social media, y'all. And if you had to follow the case, but they backed this dude almost, and it was weird, man. You guys remember that? Nothing happened to Jen. Nothing. What's up, Duckin? Yelling at people. Yelling at them. I want to know why the state would send out the discovery request or FOIA with Maddie in the process of being abused. That's so true what she said. It is a monster. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, guys, Noelle has the goods. So apparently, and I'm going to tell you where to get this if you guys remember this. So look, Jonesin just found out about this. So okay, so apparently, creator Jonesin made a Google Drive link of all of the. Created a link and made a Google Drive thing of all the communication of all the emails. The thing is, like, again, I'm listening. I learned of this last live. You guys wanted me to cover this, and this is my best attempt at it. But you want my opinion on this? This lady, I've heard her kind of, and for what it's worth, she apologized for doing all this. But on my view, I just think she's kind of a liar. I've heard her say this and that, and then her emails, they say different things. And yes, I understand she's saying like, I'm trying to get on the good side of this guy and, play into his ego and all that. I get that. But you can't sit here and say you're trying to get the goods, but in black and white, it says you got respect for him and his lawyers, and you will never talk about the case in one of your first emails. So that's lying, man. You're lying. So I don't really know what to think about this. This lady I think she did all this, wanted to get a relationship with this guy, which she did until she got busted. But all in all, it wasn't for justice for Maddie. And all in all, it was for what? That's where I'm lost at. Because your picture is going to get passed around. All you did was help a chomo, whether you want to admit that or not. You absolutely gave light to this guy. His days inside the prison, he should be doing hard time, big time. He should not be looking forward to that tablet. He should not be running to that canteen line to seeing if what's her face emailed me. No, he should know that nobody's reaching out to him. He should know that if somebody does, it's just mom. Mom writes once a month. Mom. That's it. That's it. You cannot make it better for him. Choke him out? I don't know. It's weird. She'll tell you though, completely different. I don't care about sides. I don't care who she's friends with. I'm just taking this at a side of this backfired on her on so many different ways. Yes, her picture's going to get passed around. She made time way easier for a chomo and many different other things on the inside of a prison type of a concept. And it's just all weird, y'all. It's all weird. But here we go again. There should be no more YouTubers doing no more Maddie Soto videos. Nothing. Leave it alone, man. People have pretended to be that guy's. People have pretended to be Stephan Stern's co-workers, that fucking idiot T-Rev. You got this lady reaching out. Just stop, man. Stop. The girl's dead, man. Stop. Leave it alone, dude. Leave it alone, dude. You know, it's like too much, man. For fuck's sakes. The merch is you can't even justify that. We didn't talk about that a lot on this live. She's selling merch. Man, I should have to tell anybody out there, please don't buy no merch with missing children on it. That's wild work. That's wild work. These shirts are given to you at the visuals at the missing people events. You don't buy them. Don't support anybody selling a missing kid if they don't even know if the kid is missing or dead. And please, man, don't buy that shit. Holy shit. Apparently it is. Somehow, some way it is. I had a conversation with Don Wells about this. You would think that they would need to have the permission from the parental unit to do this. You don't. I don't know, man. The internet's weird. You don't. Yeah, man, $97. Yeah, absolutely. She is. You're absolutely right. No problem. It's weird. It's absolutely weird. And it's gross. It's what's said is that if it weren't for this woman, it wouldn't be another one. What? Oh, what's sad? Yeah, is she? Yeah, man, and that little girl, what's aggravating is that little girl. I'm sure everybody watching this live has at least followed that case a little bit. And even if you followed the case a little bit, you'd know that little girl had, unfortunately, man, that little girl had no shot at life. Very sad. One of her friends at school said, babe, didn't one of the friends say, let's 13, run away, live in the woods? Like that was a birthday goal for that little girl. That was said from one of her little friends in school. She wanted to run away to the woods when she was 13. Like when she was 13, she felt like she'd be old enough to run away to the woods to get out of that hectic situation she was in. Everybody failed the little girl. Everybody failed her. The mom was letting her sleep in, would purposely tell her to go sleep in the stepfather's bed in a different section of the fucking house. It's all gross, man. She had no shot at life, you know. And then these people come on YouTube and just continue to grift max off her situation. Yeah, Wildfire says recently she said that she took her merch site down, but that's a lie too, because people are able to bring it up since she said she keeps getting caught in all these lies. Again, you know, I initially wanted to come on here and just give you the prison side of stuff, and keeping an open mind, like you know, having a devil's advocate look at this, right? But you can't, because this lady, even in all of her explanation, she keeps getting caught in all these lies. And they're weird lies. And they're weird lies. And I don't even know how to wrap this up, like to say like what it is. It's just like, it's weird. She, you know, it's a lot of lies, but like, I guess like my question would be like, what did you really do this for? You know, she apparently, I don't have the clip, but apparently, and it's out there, she's already admitted that she didn't do this for Maddie. So what did you do this for? You know, the way she talks about the guy is very strange. How did you think that he thought that you thought that he was thinking? It's all very weird, people. How did you even have a conversation of his cock? How did you send a picture of yourself to him? How don't you understand? People, I need people to understand that lady's being rented out or passed around right now in a concrete facility in northern Florida with convicted molesters, and they're using it to please themselves. This is happening. This is happening. She also gave the guy her address. She did to feed her ego. She did to feed her ego. Anybody, I have merch. I make money off merch. Anybody selling any money off merch, depending what platform you use, it's going to you. It's going to the creator. Now, look, you can click on my merch below. I don't get every penny off that. If I use like a Teespring or something like that, you play the platform to make the merch, to ship it out to the person, but you get a percentage of the profit. I think like off my shirts, I make like $19 and change, maybe 18 or 13, something like that. But yeah, you can't. There is a way that you can direct it, depending on each platform. You can direct it to. So if you look below, if you look below right now, there's a shirt. It's a black shirt, and it says miss or, damn it, what? There's two items I got below, and they're linked directly off to missing kids. But I make nothing off that. All the proceeds go exactly to that, but it stipulates right there. It stipulates in the description and all that, exactly all that information. I don't have to, I'm explaining it now, but if you were to look for yourself, you could see all that. So when you use these platforms, I use Bonfire, and Bonfire has an option where you can make it to go to a nonprofit. And I have two merch items that do go to a nonprofit. But it stipulates all that. There should be never for a creator to have to explain the monetary amount of what they're getting and where it goes where. If it's not stipulated all there, right there, hitting you in the face, then something's fishy, man. Something's fishy. Yes, exactly. She's pocketing it 100%. This was for her YouTube channel, people. This is for her YouTube channel. It came out, and you could tell. If you're being honest with yourself and you read all the emails, she knew this was going to come out. She keeps talking about if somebody FOIAs this. It came out, and it's just weird. This wasn't done for Maddie. This was done for her. This was done for her channel. Exactly. It was found out, and then she got behind it. And then she did a live trying to address this stuff. But if you listen to the live and then you read the receipts, you there's so many contradictions. It's wild. I just tried to show you a couple main ones, right? What else do you need to look at when someone says, I have out of respect for your lawyers and yourself and your family, I won't discuss your case. Case closed. What are we doing here then? What are you asking about? And if you read the emails, you can't find Maddie talked about barely none. It's all like, what's your favorite color and what kind of music do you like, and getting to know the dude. It's very weird. It's all personal questions. So much to a point where when she saw the guy on TV, she thought that he was looking at her. That's very weird, y'all. That's very weird. That's a way bigger discussion that should be had. Talk about psychological effects. Yeah, maybe the fucking camera needs to be looked at you on that. It's just like, whoa, The eyes I didn't get into. I'm glad that you brought that up. My wife told me that, and I didn't want to talk about that, but I'm going to. I'm going to. So the eyes. What'd she say? Her eyes were like Maddie's? Noelle? I mean, people, come on now. She's describing herself to this guy. She's sending a young photo to this guy. What?
Did you read any of the notes I?
Yes, I did, but I couldn't do the eyes thing because it just was hard to talk about. I'm going to do it now. The lady is telling this guy about describing her eyes, and she's comparing the color of her eyes and stuff and the shape to Maddie Soto's. Now, if you know anything about this case, I don't even want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. It's just gross, man. That's just fucked up. That's fucked up. But you're literally telling a convicted chomo, after sending her like one of the youngest photos you can to the dude, that you have eyes that look like Maddie's size and shape. Now, keep in mind, this is the girl that he totally essayed and ended up killing. It's I don't know like what to add to that. That's strange, man.
She sent
It's
that
very strange.
photo instead of her own photo currently because she knows that's what he's attracted to. So by sending him a younger picture, she made herself more appealing. Just like comparing herself to his mom for certain things.
Grab the seat.
Or
I want to talk about
to
it, right?
to Maddie.
I'm gonna give Noelle the chair for a minute.
Chair 'cause I'm gone.
No, take the seat for 5 minutes and give your input on it.
She made
Take the
herself.
seat.
I don't want the fucking seat. She made herself more relatable, so that he was more comfortable and was, felt like he had more of a connection with her. The picture, she has current pictures, but she sent that because she knows that of all things is going to get his attention. That's going to be what makes him get that sparkle in his eye. That makes him attached to her more because it's a younger age picture. It's like 17, 18 years old. It's as close to a minor, as you can get. And that's what he wants. Why didn't she send him a current picture? There's no reason for it unless, you're trying to attract him for whatever reason to an idea of you that isn't even fucking true. Like, I can fucking send younger pictures of myself to whoever I want to. I don't look like that, but the only reason to do that is to make you think that's who I am. Because now he's going to attach that image of you to every email that you send back and forth in correspondence. He's always going to picture and imagine you as that.
So talk about the eyes and stuff. I think it comes out better from a woman though. If you look at Maddie Soto, if you look at that little girl, she's young, a young little girl, and you look at her, and first thing that stands out is her eyes. She has those bright eyes. The fact that she tried to send the younger photo, and then in email correspondence, try to connect with him through that is fucking sick. And people, it gets deeper. This could be like a 10-hour stream if I went through all the stuff. But in meat and potatoes, this lady's full of shit. Now that I think about it even more, she's full of shit. She did apologize, but if you listen, it's just disturbing, man. It's very weird, y'all. It's gross. It's disturbing. It's weird, and she's still making money on the merch. Everything that's apologized for. You can catch lying. It's just, it is what it is, man. Again, this nobody that I cover, nobody that I'm ever going to do a live again on about, but I wanted to, come on here and give this part because it's just gross, man. This is gross, dude. And people are like going back and forth about sides and this and that. Fuck all that. This is just wrong. Call it out. She did it. That's what happens around here. Yes, of course. Yeah. It's gross. The emails got released, yes. So, Noelle, I think I have it. Let me drop this link in chat too before I go. Babe, you got the Google Drive link? You text it to me or where? Could you drop it again so I can pin it? Thank you, Michelle Griffin. I appreciate that very much. 1050. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just saw your Cash App. Thank you. She apologized because another creator was about to call her out and dox her. This other creator, however, was speaking with his parents. That's how the breakup happened. Gotcha. Hidden True Crime. It was Hidden True Crime that did the interview with the parents, right? Hidden True Crime, at least, man, say what you want to say about that channel. At least they got the parents and got the interview, you know what I'm saying? Which was a good interview, I thought, at the time. But there's no inner workings here. This is nothing. Like, it's all a bunch of shit. This was all about her and him. That's it. Maddie was nowhere to be involved, and it's gross, dude. I don't know how much I can continue to say this, but that's all that happened, y'all. I want to drop this link. Well, wifey has it. I'm waiting for her to drop it. If you guys, oh yeah, no, his parents are disgusting. No, absolutely agree with you there. What I'm saying is, so I believe it was Hidden True Crime. Correct me if I'm wrong. They contacted the parents, and got them on the live, and we were able to see the mom and the dad talk, which was very interesting, right? But because of that interview, I'm not saying that I like the parents by any means. Because of that interview, if you listen to all the FOIA phone calls, you hear the mom she takes up for his crimes and everything. They're very gross, but I can appreciate that interview and then listen to the phone calls, you don't have nothing like this. There's no insight here. There's nothing new here. It's all gross. And this backfired, y'all, whether you want to believe it or not. Take it from me. I've been inside the prison. I don't glorify this fire, and I think people. So, I don't know. Here it is. Is that it right there? So here is the chat. Here's the Google Drive. Somebody put together every single email that was corresponded between her and him. I would suggest clicking the link, reading it. What I'm going to do is pin this comment. If you catch the replay on this, it'll be the pinned comment. Will be the Google Drive where you can click it and you can read all this. I'm skimming through this. I'm giving a fast summary of all this, and giving my thoughts on it. But leave your comments below, man. It's very gross. Very gross. I'm not with it. And I'm happy that other creators came into the stream as we're live and learned about this, and now they're going to cover it. So be on the lookout for Pino in the YouTube streets. Shout out to them both. They both texted me while I was live, and we sent them the information. So I'm sure they'll cover it soon. But yeah, guys, that's all I got. It's Sunday night. I got to work tomorrow. This is gross. I don't know how this is a team thing, a side thing. This is fucking gross. Needs to be called out. Sorry, not sorry. Give zero fucks about it and sleep just fine tonight. You should not be reaching out to no convicted chomos at all is what you shouldn't do. But you're a grown adult. This lady, if she ever watches this live, she'll probably get mad at me, think that I'm bashing her. But you should pay very close attention to the part where I'm speaking about what they're going to do to your picture inside of prison. And you or none of your subscribers can argue, debate with me, or ever try to change the fact that for months and months and months, you, by communicating with him, you made his days better. You made his days lighter. You made his days easier. You made his days everything but hard time that he should be doing.
Yeah, yell at me again, and I'm gonna leave you alone with Timber
Oh,
in the
there he
room.
is, the little terrorizer. Yeah, I had me and Noel were listening to this last night. Matter of fact, Chasing Truth did a very good live on this. But I'm listening to Chasing Truth talk about the emails. And this fucking chomo says that he rescued a squirrel once. Oh, that just bothered me. It bothered me. Like, who are you? You don't rescue any animals. You look what you did to a human. You know, it's just it bothered me, man. You guys know we got little Timber there, and it just bothered the shit out of me. God, that bothered me. Thank you, Nikita. What's happening, Mama? Sorry, I just got home from having dinner with my family. I hate when I miss your lives. Have a good night. Much love. Thank you, Nikita. We love you. Appreciate you so much, Mama. Just bothered me. Yeah, they said that he rescued squirrels too. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. And birds and this and that. Dude, look what you did to you failed a human. You don't get, come on, man. But anyway, this is it, y'all. I know it's a little different than the normal content, but I definitely wanted to cover this. Until the next time, y'all, I'm jumping off. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips. And in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.